Hello, 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 hello. Hey everybody, how y'all doing? Good morning, good evening, good afternoon to you, wherever you are, whatever time it is when you listen to this. Welcome to my channel. All right, so ultimately, all right, I was just shuffling the cards, and the first card out already is Queen of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, so that's part one of it, right? The other portion of this that's gonna come into fruition is during this reading, I may call out zodiac signs possibly at the end, but that's not the main focus. Is the zodiac sign? It's something about voting or vote. Okay, but a zodiac sign is one of the things. I might call them out, but realistically, it's gonna be about what it is that it represents. All right. So some of this is going to be in regards to, like at face value, one being emotionally unstable, being materialistic, not being relaxed. All right. Yeah, it'll be about the whole being unearthed aspect. The other portion of it is what will be incoming in the alchemicalization aspect as far as the emotional stability and feeling emotionally stable. The other portion that I'm really getting is the dark side of the moon, the darker side of emotions and one's emotional stability. All right, but then there being a high priestess. Oh, this is through the visions deck, y'all. With there one being a high priestess, and then there being communication. Oh, okay, I'm hearing juggling with this two of pentacles, but what I'm getting from it is okay, it's saying it's juggling. So for somebody, it's gonna be about what it is to juggle, or the first steps in expansion in regards to one being in thought or being in a. I'm hearing a high rise. High rise. Okay. No, because some of it is given like the attempt to raise vibration, but in a location and being two pentacles in one space, or being two seeds planted in one space in a high rise apartment building. I don't know exactly where this is. And there being the Fool and the Moon. In short, a beginning being projected or a beginning being hidden. The beginning it being hidden. One of the things I'll say is stop asking questions when you already know the answer to it. That's one of the things that's really coming to me. If you already know the answer to the question it is that you will have, stop asking a question, even on an energetic sense, because that typically be the reason why, a lot of people lose relationships for real. Yeah, because one of the things I guess is kind of peeking through uh would be about the karmic aspect of the priestess, or what it is to be in the vision, being karmic as a priestess and communicating for 2 years in regards to what will be going on, different communications that would have been going on in an apartment, and there being in an apartment on a plane, and then there being this journey of what would be hidden. Some of it will be about the journey of being hidden, the journey of darkness. Darkness doesn't necessarily mean a bad thing, though. Yeah, it just means that you don't necessarily see it, you may not see it. That's going to depend on what your light is like. No, because something that is given is I don't see it that way. Uh, okay, so not seeing eye to eye on a situation. And then I just heard this here. Okay, and then there being a Knight of Coins in reverse. One not coming in with an offer. What it is not to come in with an offer, the whole Dark Night of the Soul, and what it is that would be anchored with this Knight of Coins reverse in the vision of what it is that would have been constituted as it not being slow moving essence. One of the things, and being Army veteran is typically what that's assigned to, or Army, groundwork, things of that nature. The other thing I'm giving is about securing a perimeter. Hello, little sparrows. Hello. And the other portion of this, right? Yeah, that's kind of coming into place with this is going to be about how one would change their mind in regards to, yeah, changing their mind in regards to one's temperament, being an angel, uh, and what it is to the path being hidden for being an angel or temperance. This is going to be about virtues. What virtues there are in regards to when one would change their mind, or as a reaction, a person being an angel. Believe none of what you hear and half of what you see is basically what that boils down to. Yeah, because one of the things that comes into place with Dark Knight of the Souls, I say this all the daggone time. Yeah, this is giving some Dark Knight of the Souls shit as to what it is that would have been anchored, and it would have been nothing that would have been anchored in that regard, and how it is that one would have to change their mind in regards to a person being an angel, in regards to how it is the alchemy would come into place with things. Yeah, so the incoming judgments that will go into place with one being a Queen of Pentacles, right? Emotionally and financially stable. And there being judgments. One of the things it is, I'll call it a download, but I know this was a conversation. I heard somebody say having broke people problems. Yeah, not broke people, poor people problems. Yeah, in short, with the whole crying out, so to speak, and a person not having finances or whatever, what have you. I'm hearing something about an equal exchange. You'll be amazed what constitutes as an equal exchange. Yeah, and I heard something about somebody's magic waning. Okay, yeah, no, because that'll be in regards to the beginning of the moon cycles and phases, and how those judgments the would change that major aspect. These are a lot of major arcana cards. I think I need to, yeah. So the ones that you will have coming out, right? Yeah, because this is going to be about the whole, for me, I interpret the High Priestess as the Divine Feminine, not the, what they call it, not the Empress. Because, yeah, it doesn't take much to be an Empress, according to, like societal standards, but to be a priestess, it's a whole bunch of other stuff that'll go on. Now, some of this other stuff is within being juggled in this high space, at the beginning of the journey, and the foolishness that would have come in regards to what was hidden about one changing their mind about a person being an angel. Yeah, in short, how a person would have known that someone was an angel, regardless of the karmic aspect, if it had a karmic connotation to it. That's that part. The other portion of it is, yeah, some work being done. It looks like the attempt at a manifestation in regards to this, yeah, to make one emotionally unstable. The other portion of it, now, because one of the things it is that kept coming up, in the varying readings, whether it be the up and down or the high and low. I said I wasn't going to no poetry readings or poetry functions. I said I wasn't doing shit in St. Louis. In short, when you say what you say and you mean what you said, that in this space is, as far as like the tower moment, that would be a location that a person would be attempting to pull someone to. Yeah, yeah. For me, of course, I'm gonna take it personal, because I definitely know the people who would be dealing with it. It would be a Sagittarius, there would be a Pisces, and there would be, yeah, because it's saying the full, but it's giving the endings. Yeah, the end of it. Now and then I'm hearing the point of it all by Anthony Hamilton. In short, you'll be amazed exactly what it is that would be going on to, with, and around you. Ensure shit being pointless. I just heard anything less will be uncivilized. And yeah, and that whole Earth Spice. That was the Old Spice. That was the Old Spice commercial. So there's that portion. The Hermit is the overall essence. So within one, looking inside themselves, and one of the things is that comes into place with the Hermit essence is examining your lights. Have you had the opportunity to examine your light in regards to you knowing more, especially when it comes to the whole visions aspect of things? Yeah, how things would manifest or come into fruition in certain places and spaces. That's that portion. And within shining that light on like the little three-headed dog, right? And and what it is to for there to be the good wolf, the bad wolf, and the one in the middle, so to speak. Yeah, the neutral. How one would be neutral or neutralized. So it's that part. And then there being one being outside of the community. Yeah, with the person being in the apartment or in this space is outside of the community. And there's heartache within one loving themselves and being a magician. Whew. The love of a magician or the love of magic. And then there being this alchemical aspect within. Some of this is going to be about the priestess reveal, and others and the other aspects it'll be about what it is for one not to be a priestess and accept the misfortune from 4 years ago, or accept the misfortune and letting go. One of the things it is that I will certainly say in regards to this, yeah, I heard something about doom scrolling, but no, one of the things, because that's Capricorn essence as it's applied. And it's one thing if you're looking up different information to see exactly how it would pertain to you. It's a whole nother thing if you're doing it in regards to, yeah, how you would want to pay attention to what information it is that can be collected. Now, mind you, the only sword representative here is being in a high rise. That's that part. The other portion of it is, pause. Yeah, I'm not about to go through some shit that don't pertain to me. That ain't my business. I don't give a fuck about what's happening with them. I said no. That's not complicated. That's real simple. You can't bitch and moan and complain about a person being sweet, or when a person is being sweet and loving and caring and you bitching and moaning at them, and then you turn the fuck around and you be an asshole toward them while that's not balanced, you stupid people. That's not balanced. That's not balanced at all. That's the unbalanced Libra shit. That's an unbalanced mutable sign shit. Nah, because the other portion of it will be about checking a person's temperature. You gotta check. Yeah, it's one of those. I want to check your temperature, but your temperature isn't at a level for you to even be able to check somebody else's. In short, you out of alignment, out of being out of pocket. That's that portion, and what it is to have to do things out of pocket for your growth or whatever, what have you. Yeah, in the business aspect, this is gonna be in regards to the priestess for a business. The other portion of it is going to be about the foolishness that was hidden when one would have changed their mind in regards to a person being an empress. Yeah, in short, what it's given is the whole player, how one would play a role, and what it is to play a role or fall into a role. One of the things I'm gonna say in this whole Dark Night of the Soul: stop repeating the same shit that you did with somebody that you don't fucking like with somebody that you do like. Y'all have a tendency to do that, or yeah, because that makes you irrelevant. Fuck it, it'll make you fucking irrelevant because you treating people that you, yeah. If you don't like a person, you shouldn't treat them like you like them. if you do like a person, you should treat them like you like them. I'm not finna get into that because that same, yeah, because according to this and the whole hierarchy of situations, yeah, one of the things it is that people have a tendency to forget in the hierarchy. If you're on the path of the angel, right? Yeah, if you're on the angel's path, regardless, you don't have to disclose shit to nobody. You don't. You don't have to tell nobody nothing. What do you need to tell people for? You running your mouth too damn much. That's how manifestations get fucked up within the love, yeah, within the heartache of loving one being a magician or a manifester, right? The planets that are going to be involved with the influence of this though is going to be Jupiter, Neptune, yeah, and how a movie would change one mind. How a movie or movement would change one's mind. That's that portion. The other part of it, would it be in 3 days? It be in some of this is what I'm getting from it is it be in 3 days until a manifestation, based out of what it is that would have taken place 4 weeks ago. The other portion of it is gonna be about the, yeah, if you're reviewing like twin flame information and things of that nature and correlation, that in itself, what would have taken place in the high rise would have made one out of the, or taken one out of twin flame community. Yeah, and sure, how your fuck shit can, yeah, y'all be doing too much. Y'all do. And in regards to this whole Mercury and communication aspect, it'll be about the luck that would have come within one revealing their accepting one's misfortune 4 years ago. One of the things that, yeah, it's one of those, what it's giving is how a person would, that it always boils down to that struggle of shit and the whole hold me down situation. Yeah, I finally picked up on that. It'll be about the whole I'll hold you down. Holding a person down ain't necessarily always a good thing. Yeah, and within the whole leap of faith, that's what I should have named this. Yeah, because after a while, you get tired of taking leaps of faith. Every day shouldn't be a fucking leap of faith for you. That's doing too much. That's the fucking gamble that's associated with Jupiter essence. There's that portion and the other portion of it with what it is that will be coming in regards to the angelic aspect. It'll be about the priestess rejecting one's fortune, the fortune that would be held. Captured, captivated, stolen. Okay, I guess. Ain't no seven of swords here, so that's it. Also, pay attention to what's that called? Also, pay attention to not only the descriptions of these, yeah, because some of these is going to be names, persons, places, things, all that. And in regards to, yeah, whether or not a person would know their power. Within them looking inside themselves, do you know how powerful you are? It's given that the actual thing is the poem, I want to say by Miriam or Miriam Williamson. I think that's her name. Yeah, I usually post that every year. Yeah, I have been posting it every year during National Poetry Month. But after seeing the response of the community, yeah, in short, it's when you do things and you see the response. It's not even necessarily about what you want or don't want, but it's more so a matter of the rejection that comes into place with believing that a person realistically is in a particular position, in a particular space or place. The other thing that I did notice, right? Yeah, the person didn't reach out to me in the physical, but it was a person that I dealt with a long ass time ago. Long ass time ago. Yeah, and the games it is that was played. Now, in regards to his, No, because obviously the manifestation finally came into place of the person with dreads and all this other shit. I don't fucking, I don't fucking like DeAndre Reed. I'm not gonna keep talking about that. He was an ex from a really long time ago that ultimately he played a lot of emotional games. So the emotional manipulation that came into place with things, and the reality of when you have children really young, no one has to be with you when you have a fucking kid at 14. Damn, the responsibility that comes into place. Why would, yeah, it's one of those, okay, that's what happened, so that's what happened. Part one, yeah, you motherfuckers don't give a bitch a chance to adjust to shit. Y'all don't. Y'all really don't. That's that part. The other portion of it is he was really emotionally manipulative and really vindictive. Extremely vindictive. No, because I done had talked to a couple other people that know him, and when it was all said and done, yeah, when you don't care to get an update about some shit, because that was definitely one of the things that me personally, it's one of those. No, I don't need to witness shit that nobody else is going through because I know how my heart is set up, and since I can't help, what the fuck I need to see it for? That's stupid. Yeah, that's a play on not only your intelligence and the physical, but that's a person playing on your mental. So, in short, with the whole playing it, you playing in my face. How motherfuckers are playing your face. That was that portion. The other thing that came into place with that particular situation, yeah, it was in jest, GEST, or maybe JEST, and fun, that he said that my sister that's right under me was his girlfriend while he was actually talking to me. He thought, yeah, it was supposed to be some cutesy shit, right? To make her feel included. At the time, I had my own phone line when I was, yeah, that was on Amherst Terrace, right? But I had my own phone line or whatever, and my sister, yeah, because she was outside more than anything. So there was that, and later on down the line, she told my other sisters that I saw her boyfriend. And my whole thing was, you weren't even supposed to have your ass on the phone yet. You hadn't got boy clearance for the phone. So yeah, all that shit is settled now. To my understanding, it would be settled now. But the reality of it was, yeah, when you get two parties that are in the wrong and they try to team up to, yeah, for some, to, I want to say, to make something right. So I don't, yeah, in short, yeah, how it is, everybody want to ask questions and shit in regards to you or your situation when they don't have a grip on their own situation. And when, yeah, when you, again, with this whole magical aspect, yeah, stop fucking with shit and stop touching shit. I told y'all that shit 4 years ago. Stop touching shit. You got your own healing work it is that you need to be doing. And with them one being outside of the community, or even being a part of the community or servicing the community to any capacity, yeah, where they fuck up at. Because it's not a service of the community. Okay. If you are a part of an all male organization to any capacity, yeah, because these must be taught. I'm hearing Garveyites and them Kevinites, and yeah, and how easily it is for them to be influenced and swayed to believe that bullshit, all because their uteruses fell out. And then you wonder why it is that you'll have so much turmoil as a masculine feeling sign, because you're behaving out of wounds in your feeling aspect, or in your feminine aspect. The only way you know how to act in your femininity is by, yeah, I don't necessarily want to say it's considered toxic femininity only. I once I heard something about survivor's remorse, hearing something about immunity. I'm hearing something about victim mentality. Yeah, so yeah, how you would, as a person, you would lack accountability due to having a victim's mentality, but you're not a victim anymore. Yeah, so after a certain point, you have to gain control. right, of who you are and whatever it is that will be going on. Yeah, because what this is giving is a motherfucker made a summoning circle to, yeah, to get some shit projected, and then the judgment would have changed so that the judgments would change about what it is that one would alchemize, or how a person would be an alchemist or an angel, and what constitutes as angelic. Okay. Yeah, based out of the angelic aspect, a lot of people under false pretenses and demonization and things of that nature, what I'll say is y'all don't know nearly enough about angels to talk as much shit about them as you do, like to any capacity, because last time I checked, demons are angels and they're only called demons because they lost. They still have that particular quality within them, whether you like it or not. No, that's not seeing the brighter side of things. That's seeing the whole totality of it. Everything was created from darkness, ladies and gentlemen. In case y'all don't, that's part of the reason why I like Big Bang Theory. Because everything literally was created from darkness and out of nothingness. And while it would say, let there be light, that means there was a vibration, a vibrational shift that came into place that created life. It wouldn't even necessarily have to be words. Yeah, I'm tired of people trying to over intellectualize they bullshit and their fundamental reasoning for rejections and accept, and what they can reject and what they can accept. Doesn't matter which text it is you read, all of them start with that fundamental reasoning that it's a vibration that starts that situation. Even when you're having, yeah, for women, right? Even when you have a child, you have contractions. That's a vibration inside of your body letting you know that it's time to evacuate the parasite. Children constitute as parasites in a woman's body. I don't care if you like that or not. Go look it up. They do constitute as parasites. That's the reason why, yes, the body acts the way it does as far as hormones and things of that nature to protect the host. It's about protecting the host. So it's that part. Page of Swords and the Sun. Curiosity is a type of magic. And give yourself permission to experience joy. Okay, within the communications for 2 years. Yeah, no, because what it's giving is the sidebar. That's what that was really about. The sidebar, Queen of Wands. Yeah, I'm coming through the, what's that tarot? Cozy Witch Tarot. So it'll be about the whole sidebar aspect. Yeah, how you would want, typically, to my understanding, the way that it's been executed or applied is another way to say that. It's when you all meet up at a place and you discuss whatever it is that'll be going on. Right now, here's the deal. In the discussion, is it a discussion? Is it an argument? Or is it one of those whole situations of agree to disagree? And you have to realistically pay all of those different portions attention. Yeah, because don't nobody want to pause. At a certain level of maturity, you don't want to argue no more. You're tired of arguing. It's not a back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. It's a, okay, you either do what I tell you to in regards to me, or you don't. And if you don't, you just set a boundary that you can't adhere to the expectation it is that I've set for a person to be around me, which is fine. That's not necessarily a bad thing. Yeah, because that'll be about that whole heartache aspect that'll come into place with a person loving themselves. Yeah, I've been hearing over the course of the years. Yeah, that was the destructive portion of the twin flame community. The fact that a person would just love their damn self. They ain't gotta fuck nobody else. Yeah, because with this whole wands and stuff, yeah, it'll be talking about 7 different people. Now, because I've had, and well, I just heard you don't know what be going on. It's not about that I don't know what be going on. I don't care what goes on. After I finish my spiritual contract with a person, they are no longer my business. I don't care. Just the same as, yeah, in short, in the dark night of the soul, pay attention to what I'm saying, because that's the only way that I am able to say certain shit to you is because that's what you would have actually said in 3D. That's what the Dark Knight of the Soul does. It's a truth reveal spell. I keep telling y'all that. And it's a damn shame that y'all love magic so much, but you don't actually fucking study. You want somebody else to do the work for you. That's ridiculous. The Lovers, Gemini Essence. Yeah, because that's going to be part of this situation that comes into place with the whole knowing more. Knowing more, what it is you know, how it is you know it, and what it is to come into place with a person not being, the other portion of it is being an angel, not a priestess. And it's one of those, yeah, that's not her woman of light. That's an old reading manifesting from the Journey of Love that I did years ago. I had to erase my readings. I'm not as fortunate as other people. I had to erase my readings because there's too many motherfuckers who love magic who think that I'm a punk. On that side, I've spurred a lot of people for a really long fucking time. And I can go from pretty to petty. And my petty ain't like yours. My petty is I'll never talk to you again in your life. Ever. Period. I have no obligation to accommodate your ills or your woes after I've done everything it is that I've done on my part. And it's very unfortunate for a lot of people that I did what the fuck I was supposed to do over 2 years ago. And what it is for there to be priestess communication over the course of 2 years in that particular space or in one's mental aspect in the house of Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius, right? Yeah, so some of it I'm getting from it is the difference between childlike connections versus actual spiritual connections. And just because you have a childhood person, yeah, I know a lot of people from my fucking childhood. I knew DeAndre from my fucking childhood, and he was a complete, yeah, he turned into a complete asshole, lost his fucking mind. I don't give a fuck if it was because he was doing drugs. That's not my fucking problem. That's typically the issue that keep coming into place. Oh, you know, they were codependent. You know, they were an addict. Addicts, you full of shit. You need to get your ass up and stop being on dumb shit when it comes to that. If you constitute yourself as, oh, I'm an addict. I'm an addict. You're not an addict. You're recovering. Y'all always keep forgetting that last part. I'm a recovering addict. Meaning you're supposed to be taking accountability. And the biggest portion of it is the whole 12-step programs. What did you learn during that 12-step program? If you decided to go through it. And another way that you can identify what it is that would have been learned in that 12-step program, I heard something about being tolerable to others. A lot of people would just tolerate your addictions. But I'll be honest with you, I haven't met addict for real yet who hasn't crossed me and hasn't fucked me over. Every last one of them have that in common. So there's that. The Lovers. Justice. Ten of Pentacles. So it's going to be the within one collecting information and doing what it is they feel with the intelligence. It'll be about the truth of balance in one's inheritance and there being conflict in the discussions of expansion and one waiting for the ships to come in within there being a path of reciprocation within how it is one would be a leader, the actions of a leader. Oh, there that Seven of Swords go. Within there being the strategy for one being a star, how it is one would make a person a star. This is an extension of when I said overnight celebrity. Yeah, I could tell who actually watches the full readings and get all of it, because y'all turn around and y'all ask me the same questions all over again. It's one of those I already gave you the fucking answer. You didn't want to listen. That's that portion. The other portion of it, right, that'll come into place with this is within one's comfort and short strategy to make one comfortable. What it is that comes into place in the strategy to make one comfortable. No, cause what it's giving is that same time, man, same time. No, I'm trying to impersonate Chris Tucker. But at the same time, it being done at the same, how things will be done at the same time. No, because the mutable madness that'll come into place with this as a reaction, it'll be in regards to what it is that happens when you make a decision or a choice based out from a deep seated choice to juggle outside of what it is that being out of one's league. Yeah, a person being out of your league. It wouldn't be about out of the community, to be about being out of one's league. Yeah, in short, no, because one of the things is giving, and I was just thinking it on the humanitarian scale, whether or not a person will be good enough for sex. I just heard say what you have to. A person's financial status, a person's longevity in the bedroom is not going to be what constitutes at this level, at the higher order portion. It's not going to be whether or not they're good enough to have sex with you, or you good enough for them to have sex with you. And yeah, that's a whole bunch of root chakra shit that explains all the red. That's a bunch of root chakra shit that y'all gonna need to really pay attention to. Yeah, because in this regards to one being a star, the being a star, Aquarius being stolen, it being a strategy, one being older. Yeah, how a person will become a star when they're older versus when they're younger. Now, because how it is, one would act like a rapper, but they wouldn't really be one. Anyway, then there being the, yeah, okay, and then it being the secret of one being a lover not being discussed, and it not being an option. Yeah, this is what would be clearing out. Yeah, how a person wouldn't have been how a priestess wouldn't be romantic, or the keeping of secrets within the collecting of the information, even though it wasn't talked about or discussed in July. One of the things that's really coming to me is the whole, within the whole projection aspect. Yeah, I don't have any associations. I don't know how many times it is I didn't have to say this. I don't have any associations or affiliation with Poetic Justice Open Mic, Black Men Build, Action St. Louis, Mission St. Louis, Freedom Community Center. I have no associations with them any longer. I've done what I was supposed to do, and I cut cords, and I canceled the contracts that are necessary in regards to that. Because when you work with certain people, yeah, especially in the imprisonment aspect, the whole mind frame of being institutionalized does have its, it does warrant, that's what I say, it would warrant a particular behavior, right? And it does provide a particular amount of stability. One of the things that was coming to me from some years ago in the awareness aspect, how motherfuckers will get locked up just so they can go on vacation. That's poor people thinking. Yeah, locked up so they can go on vacation, or uh the LOX. No, because that's giving a rap song. Some of this is gonna be about a rap song by the LOX. LOX. And then there being this manifestation of one not being stuck, and it being 2 days of disappointment in regards to the apologies of what would go on with one winning at all costs and going on another day. Now, because something that, and the Pisces essence of one going on another day. One thing that I will say that I've learned over the course of these years is certain shit that motherfuckers will say to your face, and it's certain shit that they won't. And I've encountered a lot of bitch ass people in regards to that. They won't say the shit it is that they feel about you to your face. That's part of the reason why I personally, right? That's why I had to get out of my family's houses. I did. I had to get out my family's houses, and why I was more comfortable in hermit essence because I ain't have nobody controlling me, patrolling me, policing me, trying to monitor what it is that I say and do. And they wasn't taking everything so damn personal. Nah, cause more up to date. That was the purpose of me posting it. I knew I wasn't fucking crazy. It's more than just two people that would actually show up, and that would be the tower moment for a person looking onto my page. It's one of those, oh shit, she really wasn't playing. No, I'm not playing, and that would be that whole zero projection. That being as a embodiment of the supernatural. Yes, the whole Mason aspect. Mason and masonry. In short, when you know about what you know about versus what somebody else wants to tell you based off of what they see, and they also know what you know and you know about. Now, because it's the whole, the other portion that is giving me is whether you're the type of person to say, I told you so. I am. I am. I am. I ain't gonna lie about it. I am. I am. Because if I told you so, I told you so. If I told you that something was going to happen in a particular way and fashion, that's part of the issue that comes into place with trying to be like, oh, no, you're not a priestess, you an angel. Or you're not an angel, you a magician. Or you're not a magician, you a hierophant. Y'all doing too damn much. It doesn't matter. Is it reasonable? Is it reasonable? Is it within reason? What's within reason? Yeah, no, because right now I feel like I have to fight a whole. It's not an inner conflict that's going on to or with me. It's a lot of people who bring conflict to my face, and then they'll feel some type of way. Yeah, even with them, a motherfucker showing up on your Instagram, that's the person bringing conflict to your space. Period. Bringing conflict all up and through you, knowing that you're not cool with them. You don't want to see that motherfucker. In short, the whole aspect of when you get a person who says really, for real, hurtful and evil shit, like I wouldn't piss on you if you were on fire. Well, now you on fire. So since that's what you put out into the universe, what you think gonna happen? And the whole don't piss on me and call it rain. I don't like R. Kelly. Okay? I don't like Robert. I don't like Robert ass at all. And if this is talking about whether or not, the older man situation that will go into place with being the Pope and everything, he ain't pull rank. He ain't pull rank the way he was supposed to. Ain't no point in having power if you don't set things right. Too many people want power just for the hell of having power. They don't actually do anything conducive to the community that they're in or out of, and they don't actually apply it to their daily living. So there's that portion. Now, because it's given the difference between no, that's from a reading. Yeah, with the people it is that call themselves trying to play the projection issues and shit. That's the wise or the wise guys. And whether or not you can speak fluent sarcasm. Yeah, and the universe doesn't understand sarcasm. It doesn't understand sarcasm, and if you continuously doing a whole back and forth bullshit, you'll not ever get anywhere. You'll be stuck. Right? All right, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Don't worry about what somebody else is doing. Worry about what you have to do. Too many people be in somebody else's fucking business and they ain't got a grip on their own. This be the reason why I don't like doing readings early in the morning before I have anything else to do. I don't. Because that's like me being in y'all business. Because I'm very invasive in regards to that. And a lot of people have a tendency to take what I say and they take it personal, as they should. As they should. You ask for a reading. You ask for what it is that will be going on. And then, in short, when people request personal readings, and they constitute that as getting a reading done. You getting a person, yeah, that a personal reading on a public platform. Make that make sense. You make that make sense. Anyway, Page of Swords. Reverse and the Emperor reverse. Ensure one not collecting information on the tyranny and the Emperor on the income aspect. It'll be about the Emperor collecting information. And yeah, no, because it'll be about the imprint of not collect one's mind not being able to hold on to things. Four card draw, five card stud. That's that whole gambling shit. And just because a person knows about gambling doesn't mean that they're going to do it. Y'all have a tendency to, yeah, that invoke. I'm hearing something about something being invoked. I don't know. I heard something about rite of passage and invocation. Yeah, because it falls in line with all the world's a stage and we are but merely players. We have our exits and our entrances, right? Yeah, and now I'm hearing that choose wisely. What is that from? No, because that's from a Jay-Z song. Yeah, when you, in short, when you one of those type of people who have, whether you focus on having 99 problems or whether you focus on having 100 solutions. And when you get to, say for instance, problem 57, so to speak, you have 40 different solutions for problem 57. That's pretty much what I'm getting from this. In short, there's so many different ways that something can be done or taken care of or handled to it and for you. And whether or not you're the type of person invasive, with the invasive aspect, whether or not you're the type of person to not only force your way into something, but the theft, that the emotional theft and the psychological theft that comes into place, and the humanitarian theft that you stealing from humanity. That's why all these damn major arcana cards come into place. And when the reality of it is, regardless of what the universe brings in, you're your own divine intervention. You don't have to be an angel to invoke that. All you have to do is say it. Say something about it. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, and the universe will automatically put things in place for you to be able to do it. One of the things I will say in regards to something is one of the situations, because I have been looking up stuff for like the past 2 years, to get shit back underway, because it's what is flowing back to is when I went to my New Orleans trip. And how you don't have to have permission, and especially within the clearing out of one not being committed. You're not really in the commitment. So there's that portion. And the alchemical aspect, it'll be about the community involvement with different commitments. How I'm hearing the song "What About Your Friends?" That was coming to me last night. So it'll be about what about your friends? Will they stand their ground? Will they let you down? Yeah. No, because that makes sense as to why it is the stand your ground rule. The stand your ground rule and the contradictory aspect that will come into place with Sandra Bland. She stood her ground in a situation. All she did was let off 2 shots. And she lost her entire fucking existence behind standing her ground. And what it means for one to lose their their life because they stand in their ground. And whether or not it's not even necessarily about losing your life or even your livelihood. It's more so what you constitute as, what one would constitute as life. I heard something about the nomad. No, because that would mean, for me, that would constitute as like if I'm walking around a certain area of the city. I said pause. Let me go ahead and say this because ultimately, what I'm getting from this is coming up with the whole wish fulfillment or a grant or something, or a grant, right? Yeah, no, I said that I wasn't fucking helping these people with shit no more. I don't even like that. Yeah, I had to post that just to prove, yeah, I said what I said. I'ma still do my thing, but I'm not helping you motherfuckers out. And don't be stalking my shit so you can get ideas when you got the $100,000 grant that I earned. And it wasn't given to me because bitches wanted to play stupid, simple, and slow. That's theft on a continuum. All because you didn't like the way that I outline things, and because I can get some shit done faster than fucking 6 months. It don't take that goddamn long to make a documentary of anything. Buy equipment or none of that. You motherfuckers was just playing in people's faces. That's not being a part of the arts. That's being a part. Yeah, you know what? It is a part of the arts. It's called con artistry. So that's for the pros and cons and how it comes out with the whole being a whole or not. Within ones not being stuck in a conflict, in the middle of the conflict. No, because that's kind of, in short, what do you utilize in order for you to, yeah, not only get out of conflicts, but conflict resolution? How do you handle conflict resolution? No, because too many people think that it's attractive or sexy for a person to be snapping off on them all the damn time. That shit ain't cute. That shit ain't cute. It stresses your fucking heart out and it gives you ulcers. There's nothing attractive in regards to that. Oh, she's sassy. Shut the fuck up. I don't like you now. That's not a good thing for me to have to get into that paradigm. Or for anyone realistically to have to get into that paradigm. That's a defense mechanism, ladies and gentlemen. Sarcasm is a defense mechanism because a person would have acknowledged that they can't speak openly and honestly within their vulnerability. So they create that as a wall and as a protective measure. No, I be very serious about everything it is I say. Am I sarcastic? I don't give a fuck if you think I am. That's on you. Do I see it as sarcasm? Sometimes sarcasm can be funny, right? But the universe doesn't understand it when you're lying or you're just acting out of gift of gab or whatever the fuck it is that will be going on. Six of Pentacles, the Lovers, and Eight of Wands reversed. I heard something about conduits and vessels. If you're a conduit or a vessel and you getting certain messages, yeah, that'll be for you and it'll be for someone else. And depending on what it is that you would be paying attention to. I learned my lesson a long time ago about taking anything fucking personal that I would hear as a download. And what was real fucked up is I said when I posted, someone's going to a festival. I heard you. And I was like, yeah, cause that's script magic. Because I'm not stupid. I paid very well and very good attention to the fact that I just posted Jesse Powell, and then the motherfucker that I know with the name Jesse Burr automatically she shows up on motherfucking TikTok and in my motherfucking feed. No, we're not doing that. I said stop. Y'all do too much. Y'all, this is the way that programming comes into place. Right? Now you can either allow for yourself to program yourself, or you can allow for your technological devices to program you. Either way it goes, you're going to get programmed. Now, in regards to the reciprocation of being a lover and not communicating it, not communicating, not emailing, and there being 6 years of a person claiming to be a lover. Cause I'm thinking somebody was like, what line is it? I can't think of exactly how the line went. I don't want your bitch, we can't swap out. Guns up, it ain't nothing to talk about. It's not that part. No, it's the part with how you gonna have how you don't know me and go and tell everybody my business or something like that, and then how you gonna only have sex once with me and try and say you having a kid by me? How you motherfucker? Yes, this is the delusional aspect that comes into place. How you gonna say that you are involved in a relationship with someone? Yeah, no, because this is the aspect of community, spirit family, all this other kind of crazy shit, right? That will go on. But how is it that one would claim to be in a relationship, a romantic relationship? Now, could you be in a relationship with a person? Absolutely. But being in a romantic relationship with someone, that's something completely different. Y'all didn't lost the fucking steps. Y'all did. In all of these different categories of love and romance, you motherfuckers don't even know war. Y'all don't. Y'all really just suck. Yeah, y'all did all that studying, war college. Yeah, y'all done did all of this studying for shit, and you're amplifying the maximization of deaths opposed to preservation of life. That's the whole point of the military, the militia, angels, demons. I don't give a fuck what it is. To preserve life. And that's in a movie. That is in Fifth Element at the end. But you get what I'm saying. I'm hoping you get what I'm saying. I don't know if people are actually going to get it. And a lot of people are... Codependence doesn't necessarily only speak of, say for instance, yeah, what we constitute as codependence as, you know, like cigarettes, weed, perks. Hello. I gotta get y'all bread. I'm gonna get y'all some bread in a little bit. My bad. That's not... Yeah, with the influence of Gemini, that'll be about Larry Green being soberish. A lot of people get intoxicated off a person being angry. Yes, it's like that gives it, and when you're codependent on a particular emotion in order to receive a solution that you feel would best suit you. Not everybody wants to depend on being angry all the damn time. And after a while, you just realize, okay, it don't matter how angry you would get about it or get about any situation. It's one of those, okay, there's nothing that I could do to change this. What can I change? It's just, yeah, it's a matter of just shifting one's perspective in regards to this. Especially when, if you understand the way realms of magic work and all this other stuff. Who I can't wait to get them daggone candles, Lord. No, because I'm tired of hearing certain people's voice in my head. Yeah, when I don't like you, when I'm off you, I don't like you. I don't do well with people playing with me. Don't have me speak from my motherfucking heart. Because if you've been on fuck shit with me at all, or to any capacity, my birthday is the cutoff for people. This is a whole new year. You don't bring your ass in with this new year, that's not my fucking fault, nor is it my problem. You didn't bring in the new year with me. I told people a long time ago, and you'll get, I'm saying this about me, but a lot of other people feel the same way. Your birthday, your solar return, whatever it is you want to call it, that's your new year. And when you have a person who would try to stretch shit out from 1 year to 2 years in a particular space. So it's it. All right, I'm gonna close this out with this Murder of Crows deck. This is gonna be talking about not only spiritual contracts but regular contracts. I'm hearing offerings. I heard tithes and offerings. Okay, I guess offerings. It's gonna be a few different things, right? But in the angelic aspect or the alchemical aspect, one coming in with clarity. How an angel would come in to clarify, and real shit, you want to pay attention to the angel of Pisces, the angel of Scorpio, of course the angel of Cancer, Libra, Capricorn, Aries, and the darker side of, yeah, because this will be about the whole Lilith aspect that I'm getting with the whole darker side aspect. of Aries, the darker side of Pisces, and how it is that the difference between a water sign manifesting something versus a fire sign manifesting something. Yeah, the alchemical aspects that come into place with the water and fire portion. Yeah, and the irony, the funny thing about this is gonna be that in the contract, it will require for it to be 2 cups, one pouring into another. And it would be implied that one would pour into the other, but in the depiction, is just 1 cup being poured into another cup, and then there being resentment. Yeah, because one of the things it was that came into place, it was one of those with angels and reproducing and procreation and all this other stuff. Yeah, and how it would be that angels wouldn't procreate, and yeah, but they would have the knowledge of it and all this other stuff. Yeah, it's kind of like that whole embedded and deep rooted anguish. Yeah, because you have free will choice as an angel. Obviously, you would have free will choice as an angel, and how a person would keep trying to put you in a position just so they can lock you up. Lock you up, lock you down, get you stuck, whatever, what have you. Okay? And then there being not being an option in the abuse. And abuse not being an option. And the other portion of it is it being an opportunity for one to take action for a year, or in an offer, or with an offer. Yeah, no, because one of the things is it's one of those, because I've noticed that this has happened, and it being overall essence of some of it'll be about yesterday, some of it'll be about killing the spirit, others it'll be about lies. Lies will kill the spirit. A lie will I personally, I don't particularly care for either a liar or a thief, but when they identify themselves, what's worse is a liar. Because a liar can lead to a person stealing from you, or your person being stolen from. A lie will get you killed. And a lie can get you killed. So there's that portion. Unalived, whatever, however, red rummed. Yeah, and a lie will get your ego checked. With what you say versus what you do when that shit don't match up and it's out of alignment. And then there being this whole aspect of the star conflict. Yeah, the conflict of the stars. No, because one of the things it is that's been stated a few different times, right? Is that St. Louis is like Gotham City. It's a real underbelly type area, and a lot of that is due to the Dred Scott decision. But we're not in those times. The other portion of it is one not being an option for being a gunman. Okay, so on this other portion, let me clear this legal shit out too. The right to bear arms, communicating the right to bear arms, or the right to free speech, because whether you like it or not, yeah, your words have power, and words can shut some shit down. So it's that, but it's the Second Amendment. It's also, yeah, because it's not a lot of money in the vision. It's not a lot of money, so to speak, initially, depending on what level you at. Because that 20 could be, those 2 pentacles can be anywhere from two pennies to $2 billion. Okay? However it is you want to see it. Yeah, that's the business aspect of it. Now, in regards to what the imprint would be and what would be clearing out, right, within what it is that one would know more, it'll be about four pentacles, 4 pennies, or 40 or 4 million, or 4 billion, whatever, and it being out of season. Yeah, and sure, when a person would take too long. And interest. It'll be about interest. Yeah, and does it serve one's actual interest? So, in regards to the healing aspect, healing the conflict, or yeah, no, because what we'll be clearing out is an apology. I was hearing that song, "So Sorry," right? And I was like, huh, that's interesting. Yeah, because a lot of people like to listen to music, and with some instances, depending on how the shit goes, you can summon a person depending on what they level is. You could summon a person based off of the music it is that you play in and around yourself. Right now, in the whole apology aspect, yeah, I'm sorry is not an apology. That's the reason why I don't care for saying it a lot. The "I'm sorry," that's not an apology. That's just an acknowledgement that something's out of alignment. An apology is an understanding that you want that it won't be done again after the fact. But yeah, patience. Oh, in regards to the whole patience aspect, changing one's mind about one's patience. Yeah, because a lot of people lose patience with you after a certain level, regardless of what it is that will be going on inside one's mental. They're supposed to lose patience with you. If that's the only way that you get certain things communicated with you is in an impatient manner, yeah, that's also a childhood wound. That wouldn't be a childhood wound because children can be narcissists too. That's not about the childhood wound. That's a human nature situation. So there's that. So to summarize, right, and close this reading out and seal this reading, right? What you really want to pay attention to is Sixth Amendment on the political aspect, and how it would translate or pertain to lovers, the reciprocation of love, lovers, intelligence, or communication, not via email. The other part of the First Amendment and what it is for one to patiently come in with clarity or alchemize the Air Force. Some of it, yeah, the Air's Force. I'm saying air, AIRFORCE, but what I'm seeing is HEIRFORCE. Yeah, so it's gonna be about who actually is entitled to, and that was what would have been uh highlighted in the whole cozy witch aspect. Yeah, when you're comfortable and cozy versus when one would be just made comfortable. That the hospice. Okay, so pay attention to what money can be made off of deaths. Life insurance policies, all of that type of shit is something, and whether or not yeah, a person would have been happy when they died. That's given some of the different clauses that would have come into place. Yeah, the whole is give double indemnities. That's what that's about, and what it is to be indemnified. I guess that's gonna be a word for right now, though, yeah. So check the life insurance policies and things of that nature. Also, yeah, your past employer, right, on the financial aspect, your past employer shouldn't have a life insurance policy on you after you've gone. But that is definitely something that can happen because whoever owns the policy, and as long as it's being paid on, it don't matter. So yeah, with them desperate, y'all will be amazed. You will be the fuck amazed. You will. You will. You'll be amazed what motherfuckers will do. I mean, what people will do. You get what I'm saying? But to officially close and seal everything, what you really want to pay attention to is the lies that will be told and the truth being revealed of what it is that would have been anchored within one being friends, and the influence of being friends, and how a person would realistically be a friend of me, and there being unhappiness and reconciling one waiting for their ships to come in. The burden that comes into place with one waiting for their ships to come in. And what it is that one would attract to them. Yeah, how a person, when you're attractive, you have a lot of frenemies. You don't get a lot of friends. You don't. Primarily because it's the whole insecurity aspect that comes into place. Now, here's the deal. That shows the value of what really friendship is. And I'm going to go ahead and say this. Yeah, don't do friendship tests. Don't do friendship tests with me. Please don't do that. You motherfuckers ain't even at a level where y'all can pass y'all own ascensions. And yet you are out here doing friendship tests. You're not even a good friend to your damn self. That's the reason why y'all shit keep failing. So the lesson behind it is be a better friend to yourself. All right. So the animals it is you need to look at crows, birds in general, I will say. Yeah, because a couple different birds then came on in this area. So pay attention to birds and what constitutes as birds. Also pay attention to... I just heard what happened. You played with me. You played with me. And I told you I don't like being played with. I don't like being played with. I don't fucking like being surprised. That was a hell of a surprise, wasn't it? That's what happens when you try to surprise a person that tells you they don't want to be surprised with shit. Surprises typically have an ulterior motive behind them. I don't give a shit what it is. So it's that part. The other portion of it, right? Yeah, within birds, you want to pay attention to the difference between a doe and a deer. So that's going to be talking about the scales for the musical aspect. What other? The cat, and how a cat will have boundaries. How a cat has boundaries, how a cat holds boundaries. Yeah, a cat typically, it'll come. I personally like cats. I do. I prefer cats. Sometimes not necessarily to dogs though. They have their own particular thing that they got, right? But with cats, they have, if they want to interact, they'll interact. If they don't, they won't. And no matter how much you call them, if they don't feel like interacting, they're not going to interact. So that's going to be about the earth goddesses, so to speak. No, because one of them that I know for sure does that is Baba Yaga. If she don't want to help you or do shit, she don't have to. In short, the free will choices of the gods and goddesses. In short, yeah, with that, when you get to that level in your life where you like, I'm tired of motherfuckers making money off me. I'm tired of people making money off me and I don't get to see any of it. And the invite all in the Dark Night of the Soul, how a person would invite you just to cuss you out or just to talk shit to you, and they would be safe because they would be on stage. No, because that's how I ended that shit. I told him I would shove a microphone up, not a microphone, I told him a microphone stand up his ass if he said one more fucking thing. And it's not about being crazy enough to do it. It's about the reality of that it would be warranted. And I would have absolutely positively, with all my sweetness, being sweet and kind and everything, but I love me more than I love any other fucking person. So I'm going to do things that's going to make sure that I'm okay. And that typically means that I would help those who are around me, because then I know that they're okay. So I'll be freed up to take care of myself. Yeah, that's for whoever needed that explanation as to why it is. I did, when you do what you're supposed to do already, and it gets stolen from you. And that would be the whole plan right off the bat. But yeah, you also have the wolf. Yeah, because I didn't want to have to talk about shit personal. I don't. What happened in the past is what happened in the past. And typically within talking about it on a continuous basis, it'll bring it back into fruition. This isn't something that I had to get from a tarot reader. This is some shit that I've been saying my damn self for fucking years with the damn trauma bond and shit. And the difference between a trauma bond and a true bond. You speak your reality in existence every day. So you can change. You have opportunities to change every day. And how one wouldn't have an opportunity or the option for action. Yeah, you fuck up shit. You can mess things up. Her, is it anything else? Yeah, so it's one other thing that would need to, and again, all of this is only pertaining to this reading. So play with me if you want to. The other portion of it would be what it is that would go on over the extent of years. Post-traumatic stress disorder. No, it's not post-traumatic stress disorder. Cussing a person out is not post-traumatic stress disorder. This is the reason why anger is not a good fueling source for passion. It's a horrible fueling source. First and foremost, it gives off rape essence. There's nothing attractive about that. None whatsoever, because now you're coming off as a rapist. The other reason why anger is not a good fueling source, people have a misconception about what anger is and what anger does. The angry part of you loves you the most because it's saying this person isn't doing right by me. It's not doing right by us. So since this person isn't doing right by us, we have to express whatever we need to express. There are different levels to anger. And within there being different levels to anger, a lot of times people like to look at it just as surface level. Oh, they're angry about this or they're angry about that. When the reality is, it would be a lot of different things that would be rooting and stemming from it. I heard that's the problem with narcissists. That is the problem when it comes to that narcissist behavior and with that Aries aspect of playing too damn much. When you've been on certain journeys, yeah, you don't have time to play with people like that. Just because you new to this, for real, new to it, whether you're true to it or not, is the actual testament of whether or not things get done. Like, period. And the difference between so pay attention to in your beginnings or your leaps of faith, ultimately, is what this boils down to. In regards to your beginnings and leaps of faith, please make sure that you are paying attention to whether or not it was outside forces or a force that comes from you that makes you want to change, and how well you activate or you walk into a situation or for that situation with it being an outside force. And also with the whole magic aspect. Here's the deal with the whole magical aspect that'll come into place with it. Yeah, it's a matter of when you would have conquered all of the magicians in one area, and now you got to get a whole new set of magicians that you got to whoop their ass and you got to cuss them the fuck out because you're a known practitioner. And that competitive aspect that will and does come into place, and how one wouldn't be able to compete where they can't compare. In short, you can't compare to me because I'm looking at the way I was the day before to make sure that I'm better today than I was the day before. I don't give a fuck about what somebody else did the day before, for real. Do I make note of it? Absolutely. But is that my primary focus? Absolutely not, because you don't know how that other person would live their life or what would be going on, especially if you just focus on yourself. And the attitude that comes with a person just focusing on their damn self is one of those, nope, I'd rather just focus on me. And whether people realize it or not, because and paying attention to your skill sets. So hopefully it helps you guys out just a little bit. I'm sealing this reading, so no essence can be drawn from to create from this particular reading from anybody else for the detriment of anyone else. All right, light and love to y'all. I hope that helps you guys out just a little bit, gave you a tad bit of an inclination as to, I just heard, why don't you call in spirit? Because I'm no better. Because somebody just asked me, why don't I call in spirit? Because I understand that when you call in spirit, if you're not definitive on which spirit it is, you can get a programmer, or you can get a programmer, that's what they're called in a Masonic aspect, that will open a door. You can get demons, whatever the fuck. Now personally, I don't be bothered by too much or anything, so no, I'm not gonna call in. No, I didn't call in spirit. And stop asking questions and just let me do my job. Let me do my motherfucking job. Working with people, let me stop. Yeah, because in any event, despite the lower vibratory nature that's coming through with this reading, I hope you all get a good message from it, right? And it gives you clarity and things of that nature on what will be going on. Now, because the attitude that comes into place with it is that I have to just read, that I would just have to read one person, and I'm only always reading one person when I'm a part of a fucking collective. You're a part of a community. In short, you're not the only person that will be going through shit. Everything ain't about just you. Light and love to you. I hope everybody has a good day. And with today being Tuesday, pay attention to what sign it is that you will be in. Yeah, because some of that will be in regards to that Tuesday or Mars. And what does your quote-unquote competitive aspect looks like. And whether or not you would want to even compete with, if you're competitive or not, basically. All right. Because see, remember, light work, it ain't light work. It is not light work. It is not light work. You need to clap around you. You clap around you. All right. And that way, you can stay light while you work. Yes, I want to stop straightening.